Hello and welcome to Dish Shelved with Adam White. Today I'm going to talk about North Border by Benjamin Percy. It also has illustrations by Francesco Francavilla, and that's what drew me to it. Criminali actually talked about it probably 2 months ago or something, but I really like Francesco Francavilla's art, and I thought, well, I'll give this short book a try, and I'm really glad that I did. You can see it here. For some reason it shows up on my Kindle this time, I guess because it's mostly a darker cover, but it's a it's a really interesting story. I didn't really know anything about Benjamin Percy, and then I read in the back when I got done that he actually writes for Marvel Comics. So I actually had seen his name before, I just didn't put the connection together. So because he writes comics, but he's apparently written a couple other, I don't know if they're short novels like this is or what, but I'm definitely going to check them out because this was a really good short horror novel, novella, really. Uh, really excellent. Uh, it's about a guy who loses his job at a mine and has a wife who's pregnant and um, is having money troubles and is in debt to his in-laws, and just things aren't going right for him, and he gets a job at a border patrol that's starting up. uh, he lives at the border, I think it's either Minnesota or Wyoming, I can't remember now which one, and which is stupid because I just finished reading it, but um, it isn't the point. It's just is part of a border patrol that's trying to keep illegal immigrants out of the U.S., which he feels strangely about because he's half Indian, Native American, and he doesn't know if that really is something he should be taken part of or not, because of course how the Native Americans were treated by the whites when they came in. And anyway, he gets mixed up in things with his cousin who does something that's a little shady. I won't say what. And with a guy that runs a car dealership who's just racist piece of crap. And he ends up getting involved with him too. And just really interesting story. There's at the very beginning, there's an attack on some people, and they get ripped apart, and you're not really sure what did it. And you get more attacks as the story goes on, and then it takes an interesting turn that I didn't really see coming in part three. It's written as a three-part novella, and I won't say anything about that because I don't want to give anything away. But it was just a really great short novel, novella, like I said, whatever you want to call it. And I really enjoyed the illustrations by Francesco Francavilla, and I think it's awesome that he got him to do illustrations for this, because most books, especially short books that are smaller press like this, don't usually have illustrations, especially illustrations of this caliber, because anytime you've got Francesco Francavilla's art on something, that's note that it's classy, because he's a great artist. And he did this cover here, and he just is an absolutely fantastic artist, and he did a really good job on the illustrations that are in the book. I can't really, I'd have to flip through the book page by page to try to find one. So That's the only thing about having it on a Kindle, but I only saw it available on Kindle. I didn't see that it was available as an actual print book anywhere, so it may only be available on Kindle. I'm not entirely certain, or I would have gotten a physical copy so I could have showed you the illustrations. But uh, anyway, really great story, great horror story. Uh, I have only one complaint about it, and that is I wish it would have been longer because I wanted more. Uh, the ending is a little abrupt, but I wanted more simply because it was a really great story. And I think there's more to be done with these characters. And I think that Benjamin Percy's really on to something here. And like I said, I'm definitely going to check out his other books because I really, really enjoyed this, and I highly recommend it. Uh, it just was a great short horror novel. So that's what I'll say about that. In a related thing, I'm going to talk about also The Black Beetle by Francesco Francavilla, who wrote and drew this. This is the first volume of The Black Beetle. There's more after this. Uh, I've got it in this hardcover edition, and it was originally a mini series and a one-shot special that's collected in this. And this was just excellent. He's obviously a big fan of the pulps back from the 20s through the 50s because this is a true pulp character, the Black Beetle, and he has that great mask that you can see there, and his cape looks almost like a beetle's wings. And he's of course got his guns, and he's got other gadgets that he uses, and he takes on uh, Nazis and the mob. And the main story called No Way Out, he's up trying to find out about something that went down with the mob. I don't want to say what because I don't want to give anything away, but he goes after and finds the uh, people responsible for what went on. And but the story is almost beside the point. It's just a great pulp story. Uh, Very pulpy. It just hits the right notes and really feels like you're reading an old pulp, from the 30s or 40s. I think this takes place in the 40s. And you don't even know who the blue beetle, the black beetle is. You never find out and never really see who he is, and it doesn't really matter because he's such a cool character that you just enjoy watching him work. And it just is a great, great pulpy story. I'll show you some of the illustrations. He does it up like movie posters. And Labyrinto, I believe, is the name of the guy at the top there. He's one of the bad guys. And so you just get these really cool movie poster covers. More of that. Again, really pulpy, really awesome. Just excellent, excellent artwork, and the story's a lot of fun. I'll try to go back to some of the earlier stuff. But I mean, you can see it's really stylized. He does interesting layouts on the pages. You know, he's got a grappling hook gun, and he's got uh, darts that put people to sleep. And I mean, it's just a pulpy character that is exactly the kind of thing I love. And you can see there he's fighting with some Nazis in this one. And, you know, take no prisoners. But just overall, just an awesome comic. If you like uh, pulp stories at all, you'll love this. Uh, Even if you don't, give it a shot, because I guarantee you'll find something you like in this, because Francesco Francavilla is a great writer and artist. He's originally from Italy, but just an excellent, excellent book. I really highly recommend it. Like I said, there's a follow-ups to it that are just as excellent, but this is the one that started it. It's called No Way Out, and I highly recommend it. And I also highly recommend Northern Border by Benjamin Percy, because it was a really great horror story. And like I said, it'll leave you wanting more. And this leaves you wanting more too. So, anyway, that's all I've got this week. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next week.